Welcome to the 13th episode of these comic updates for my series, I Never Forgot. About a drifter wanting to accomplish one last goal before he can pass along happily. I will put links down below for a little more detailed description of not only my story, but where to read it online, where to purchase the various issues, and the first trade if you so are desire. But this will actually be the end of the titled Don't Forget episodes. I will still do weekly updates, but I will title them a little bit more appropriately to give them a better chance to be found not only in like searchables, but so they're not so cookie cutterous, I guess. So doing a couple changes with that. I probably will still mention that it's like the 14th episode, whatever, down in the description, but I'm going to be doing this probably for the next year or so, so having a single titled thing running that long just doesn't seem correct. So without further ado, let's get to inking this page. This is actually page 5 from issue 6. If you've gotten issue 5, this is the second to last preview pages for the issue 6 that are contained within that issue. I was considering recording as I ink right now, but I feel that using these videos of the preview pages that I captured works the best and people won't get ahead of me that don't want to be. If you would like to keep up to date with the comic progress, I am posting the inked spreads on Patreon right now. Those are available for my actual paying patrons. You can see a list of those after the end of this video. And those will go through the month of June. Since there's 13 spreads, I think it spills into July, but yeah, those are looking really awesome, and I'm enjoying sharing those with those people. So I appreciate all the support from my patrons as well. I suppose I should go over the state of everything right now. Like I said, the books are in. Store is rearranged, so you can get the back issues that are 1 through 4 at a discounted price. The first trade's up there as well. You can order directly from me. I also have a thing going that if you order the first trade, I will send you the postcard sets of the different sets of issue cover prints. I won't make those available once I finally list it on Amazon though. You can also get issue 5 there. So yeah, check out links down below. I'm finally back to inking issue 6. Like I said, I was posting spreads on Patreon, so I have to get ahead of myself again. I believe there's 10 pages to go, so I have 16 inked. I believe I'm through spread 5 right now. With this video going up on Friday, there should be 4 posted now. The Kickstarter, the last Kickstarter that helped fund the first trade in issue 5, has been fully fulfilled, so I no longer have to worry about that. That's off the plate. Finally got a couple packages sent out of the States, so yeah, finally done with that. Looking forward to the next one, but not chomping at the bit just yet. I'm also starting to do some comic reviews. I'm going to be doing 2 a month. Those will probably come out on the Saturdays, first and third Saturdays probably. There'll definitely be a Saturday video, but the first one is going to be tomorrow. It's going to be covering the first volume of Low, and that'll be available June 11th, 2016 if you're watching this after that. A couple other videos to check out while I've been gone. A list has been compiling, so I want you to get caught up on this stuff too. As always, I put a link down to in-stock trades where you can get probably the cheapest trades or at least the first volumes of different various series for probably the cheapest you can find on the internet right now. It's where I do a good deal of my shopping. It's where I picked up the first volume of like Wicked and Divine, Low, East to West. But anyway, these guys ship pretty well. The books showed up immaculately. Highly suggest using them. So I will throw the link to InStockTrades.com for them. There's also a couple videos I want to hit up on. Your Mother's Basement is a podcast that happens every Sunday night. I'm usually in the chat, live chatting with the guys and gal. They do comic reviews of the week, kind of the status of the geek culture. But it's been really getting better with each passing week. I'll throw a link to one of the latest videos. I believe they covered the Saga series. I'm going to be covering it too in a review coming up, but I wanted to get their take on it, and they really sold me on reading the series with their review. I think Kirk mentioned that it was like what Romeo and Juliet's story would be if they hadn't died. So they would have been continuing their life from that point. So I sold it. To me, I'm a hopeless romantic, so what can you do? Also, Gaz's comic is finally orderable via his Etsy store. I will throw a link directly to the Horror A4. You can also scope out his store if you're so inclined. But definitely go pick up his comic. It looks awesome. I'm looking forward to doing a review of it, but I want to get some credibility first, and I'll throw some reviews up for like Low, Wicked, and Divine, stuff like that first. There's also an awesome artist, Robert Marzullo. I've been starting to follow him for like the last couple months or so. He actually did a convention the weekend I did a con, and he threw up a video like doing the pros and cons of it, so I think it's definitely worth a watch. Get his insight. He's definitely more skilled than I am. He's been in the business quite a bit longer, so check that video out. It was the Motor City Convention pros and cons wrap up, basically. And then there's one that I didn't think I was gonna enjoy, but I'm glad I watched it. It was Sir Mix-a-Lot's interview with Chase Jarvis for his 30 days of Creative Live. But Sir Mix-a-Lot has such great insight on what it takes to make it. It's definitely an awesome watch. Definitely check that out. Like I said, links down below, so check out those guys. So let's get into it finally. I know I've been absent for a couple months now with these updates, so you're a little bit behind. Hopefully that got you caught up, and now let's get into where we stand just right at this moment. Issue 6 is coming together. I've got currently, like I said, I got 10 pages of ink. Those should be going pretty quickly. They're not. The next 2 spreads are splash pages, but they're so connected, these next 10 pages, that I think it'll go really quick. I'm not looking to see that it'll take more than 5 days, so issue 6 will be inked within a week. I've been carrying around my first trade and have sold a few like that. Just walking around with it, showing it off to friends and family and whatnot. And I've actually had a couple people ask me what comic series I was actually holding, and then I'd just break in the conversation, tell them about my comic, and they'd be totally interested, and then either I'd sell them the copy I was holding, or I'd direct them to my website that they could order it from. I highly suggest you doing it as well, because it's just an easy icebreaker, and kind of gives you some credibility when you're like, oh, I just draw stuff, and then people are like, oh yeah, so you just don't do anything, blah blah blah. But yeah, having that to hold and show people definitely piques interest, and shows that you aren't just drawing for fun and not doing anything. So that's cool. Also, after the con, I don't know if I mentioned this in the wrap-up video, but it was the Thursday after the con, set up at the bar for the third week jam night, and that was the last one until the fall. Actually had some decent sales on it, but one thing that struck me, there was a guy hanging out, and like he was chit-chatting with me, and he was shooting pool, and he kind of just glanced at the table a couple times. I think he was getting ready to leave the bar, and he actually struck up a conversation with me and started flipping through the trade, and I didn't have to pitch him or anything. Like, he flipped through the first couple pages, started reading it, and like just had this look that he knew he needed to have it in his life. He wasn't gonna pay for it with my Square. Like, he actually used the ATM in the bar to get cash from me. Even paid me a little bit more, just because he thought it was that awesome. So just having moments like that was definitely needed after the con. Not because I did poorly at the con, but the con was such a drain, because trying to pitch your comic series to people and like having it fall on its face, not because your pitch is bad per se, but these people are being overwhelmed with choices to buy, and maybe yours isn't appealing at that moment, but having somebody come up and just be like, yeah, this is something I need, and I will take one of them, and here's money. Just helped out so amazingly, just to get me in a good mood to get back to inking issue 6. Really lit the fire, and I was so thankful for that moment. I'm also snapping progress while I do this, from start to finish of an each page. There's also some little tidbits here and there. So yeah, if you want to follow me along on Snapchat, I believe I had the snap code in the last video's thumbnail, so you can either do that, add me by username Samuraiox, and you can check out the progress of this comic as it goes by hourly. So I actually smoked myself out the other day of my own room using one of these old Sharpie Magnums, and if you've never seen a Sharpie Magnum, they are the 1.5 inch diameter, like huge markers from like the 80s. Definitely the toxic ones that your room needs to be ventilated. And I realized my room wasn't quite as ventilated as I had previously thought. Definitely smoked me out for a good day, just because, like I said, it wasn't ventilated, and like that toxicity from that marker and using it on one of these pages to like really lay it down blacks for a good portion of the page, like it just stunk so bad. Needless to say, I will not be using the Magnum ever again. It even discolored the page a little bit. Like, it's from the 80s, so like the black ink kind of turned like a dark purple, which would have been fine for the scanning process, because I would have just done black and white scans in, and it would have been fine, but I didn't like it, so I actually layered ink onto the page. Took me another hour or so, but I like the look of the dark black ink much better, so there's that, I suppose. If you're gonna use a Sharpie Magnum, make sure your place is well ventilated. So this coming week's gonna be pretty intense. I'm going to be house sitting for my friends. They're going to England for one of their friends' wedding. They're gonna be gone for about a week and a half, so I'll be house sitting, watching their cats, taking care of them, whatnot. And it's basically a Fortress of Solitude style situation. It's going to be completely silent, so I won't have friends over. Just house sitting with their cats. and just put my nose to the grindstone. I definitely look forward to getting 6 inked in these next few days. On top of that, I won't be able to scan and color them, so once I get these issue 6 actually inked, it'll just have to sit and wait there. But what I will be able to do is work on issue 7 and getting the roughs and pencils done for that. Looking forward to issue 7 just because I'm going to be trying something new, but I will definitely be coming out of next week with issue 6 basically ready to be colored, and that goes for the preview pages of issue 7 as well. I still have to do the covers for 7 and 8 just to get ahead of that, but I think once I get the inking done, once I come back from that 10-day house sitting adventure, I will be painting for a couple days, at least the covers back and front for 7 and 8, possibly the interior thank you paintings as well. So yeah, looking forward to doing that. Definitely looking forward to getting into issue 7. I'm going to be doing something a little different for the pages. I think I'm going to pick up a little speed with it as well, but definitely looking forward to getting 6 finished and completed. It seems like I'm a little behind schedule where I want to be right now, so I think getting that done and inked and ready to roll for colors is definitely where I want to be right now. I also spent the day like figuring out how these next week and a half is going to go, watching their house and whatnot, and then we review where the comic is going, not only the next couple issues, but how it's ending and whatnot. And like really, I was surprised with what I had come up with, and I think I rewrote the ending at the start of issue 6 because there were just smaller details that needed fine-tuning, and like I reread it this week and like shared it with her, and like it's just the perfect ending for this entire story. I don't think it's gonna be getting better. I think it might evolve just a little bit again, but like the points that I'm going to hit for those last couple issues are pretty monumental. I'm pretty excited to share that with everybody, but I gotta get there first, and we're only halfway through the series pretty much right now, once I get done with 7. So like I said, issue 6, with prepping for it, I will be watching some rom-coms. If you're not aware, the first arc for these comics was issue 1 through 4, and it was called the Trust Arc. Basically building the world, getting everything set up and whatnot. And the second arc is definitely the Love Arc. I don't want to say too much about it, but I think you can pretty much guess what's happening over these 5 issues, issue 5 through 9. And now that we're halfway through, I definitely have to get in the mindset of this romantic attitude so I can portray that in my story and get that feeling and vibe. If you haven't watched it, I don't know if it's gonna interest you, but I'm a fan of rom-coms just because that feeling of hopeless romanticism that is portrayed in a lot of them. But definitely going to be watching a couple rom-coms, basically a couple of the ones that I haven't seen in a while, just to set the mood, like Fault in Our Stars, If I Stay, and Whirly Girl from like a decade ago. Whirly Girl is basically England's version of Pretty Woman. I think it was a little bit better done than Pretty Woman was, but I definitely like it a lot more than Pretty Woman here in the States. So. Next week should be a lot of fun. It'll be the last page of these previews from issue 5's issue 6 preview. I'll talk about issue 7 a lot more, I'm pretty sure. But there'll also be a Sean Gordon Murphy of Tokyo Ghost fame. Little bit of discussion and spotlight. This will totally make sense next issue. If you have seen the preview pages, I think you know where I'm going with it. But I'll leave that there for now. Like I said, all links down below for everything I mentioned. Thanks for checking out this video, keeping up to date on the comic. Subscribe if you haven't. These will be a daily thing or a weekly thing. The teaser will be coming early next week. The comic review, like I said, will be tomorrow. If you want to check out Patreon, get caught up on these spreads as well, you're more than welcome to. I'd love to have you as a patron. I haven't slowed down on my Patreon for the last couple months, so there's constantly something being put up on my page. I like to have a nice little area that I can collect everything, and it just makes everything easier to work with. We're gonna wrap this up. It's about 21 minutes or so. Like I said, this next list of patrons, you could be part of that if you become a patron. I will check you next week though. Like I said, check out the links down below for everything I mentioned, and I'll catch you next week for sure. Later.